Welcome back to another episode of Agent Carter. So, in the last episode, Peggy is now in the dark, deep state of mind that she can trust a sexist, chauvinistic pig more than the men who actually respect her in her life, all while accidentally getting other people killed. And, oh yeah, her boyfriend's blood is now a factor in the genetics arms race, which she now has to protect, essentially, as she feels ever so betrayed by Howard Stark. But
Also, our neighbor at the Griffin is literally another spy, so really the only thing missing is someone saying that the prom is tomorrow.
pretty much, I'm sure things will only get better for her in today's episode. The Iron Ceiling, directed by Peter Leto and written by Joe Smolina, essentially. So,
Okay.
let's not beat around the bush. Start at the Marvel series logo at the start, and here we go in 3, 2, 1, click. So, once again, fortune has smiled upon us while we are recording something. Now, MCU news is common, but we ended up getting some very specific MCU news while recording this show, essentially. That is, that one of the actors, specifically the one who plays Jarvis in this series, James Darcy, will be returning as Jarvis in human form for Vision Quest. Now, the reason some people do treat this like a big deal is like, well, okay, apparently Agent Carter, the series, not the short, the series is in that questionable state of canon. This is because
Speaking of
this,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
yeah, that's partly because this is kind of intertwined with Agents of Shield. Like, okay, so believe it or not, this first season that we're watching was actually shot during the mid.
1937.
Yeah, this first season was actually released during the mid-season 2 break of Agents of Shield, and then the second season of Agent Carter was released during the mid-season break of season 3. Either that or in between seasons 2 and 3. The point being is, like, between the intertwining releases and the fact that one deals with literally the origin of
Oh,
S.H.I.E.L.D. while the other is about S.H.I.E.L.D. And, hey, yeah, 1930s.
learning English with that. In case you're wondering, no, I don't think this is the Black Widow program.
That
Though it
would.
has a similar function.
It does, yeah. Because if I recall correctly, this is also in Russia,
Yes, as
regarding
the
younger
caption said.
regarding girls who are merciless assassins trying to infiltrate America. So maybe the Red Room got some inspiration from this, or maybe the Red Room evolved from this.
And she broke her opponent's neck.
Yeah,
All part of the
New
training.
York 1946.
Now, between this and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would argue Agent Carter has less issues against it being canon, and some people have raised arguments that it could be canon since James Darcy actually did show up as Jarvis again in Endgame as well, which is most decisively canon, essentially.
Not to mention, like you said, the way this season ends, the post-credit scene, basically, for the last episode, pretty much cements a plot point for Winter Soldier, the second Captain America movie, which I think still is valid. I know that the set plot point is also important for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but in the context of just the movies, it still works out, I argue.
Honestly, I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could have stayed canon. Like, okay,
Oh, that's the thing, Jova. It introduced a bunch of particular different characters. Like, remember, Jova, they
that,
introduced General Talbot and
yes,
then turned him into Graviton for some reason.
that's what I was about to get to. Is like, I feel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could have been canon, but to a certain point, which leads me to wonder, did they start going crazy with changes before or after they knew that Disney was making them non-canon? I wonder,
No
because
idea.
some of those changes really did feel out there.
I think they also introduced in that the second Ghost Rider, the kid, I keep forgetting his name.
I think this one's Danny.
Yeah, I think the one that is showing up also in Marvel Talk on.
So, what kind of mix-up has happened with the bag now?
I wonder.
Nothing sus, I'm sure. So, get this. A British agent and a Russian agent sneak into an American diner.
Jova, that sounds like the start of a bad joke. Turns out it was probably the room's keys. What's that? I only purchased the Daily Bugle exclusively, good sir. But unfortunately, we don't have yet, a collaboration with Sony yet, so we cannot reference it. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like you could share stories with his son regarding how he feels about that, Peggy.
He'd also marry himself if he could.
Good lord. Now that's a sight to
Narcissism
behold.
goes a long way.
Oh, it's the 40s, so good luck with that.
Yeah.
Turned itself on all by itself. Yeah, that's kind of what it implies.
Brought to you by the brought to you by the Department of Redundancy.
Seriously, they couldn't the writers have just looked at that line and said,
Speaking of
okay,
which,
that's a bit
the
odd.
writer, since he's from Puerto Rico, I assume his name is pronounced Jose Molina instead. Let me see what else he did. He has been writing for a lot of TV stuff since the 1999. Oh god, he wrote 2 episodes of Firefly. I'm so sorry for him. 3 episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars in 2011. The Vampire Diaries, Sleepy Hollow. After this, he worked on the live-action version of The Tick, Weird City, La Brea Legacies, and more recently in 2022, Blood and Treasure.
Isn't Firefly one of those series that was very acclaimed, but then the ending screwed up stuff?
Well, it was cancelled after 1 season. That's instead what happens.
Oh, so good show
Yeah.
cut early.
Then again, it was also a product of Joss Whedon, so I need to give it another look at one point to see if there is actually any damage.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've definitely heard people speak highly of it.
Well, that's one way to be assertive, I guess.
Truly. And knowing he's after battle?
No, we'll send him out there. Hopefully he dies.
Oi!
And I took that personally.
Very so.
Bro, you were in charge for a day. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
see,
essentially, he's doing this mostly just so that just so he can have some peace and quiet.
Carter, he only bullies you because he likes you.
I'm pushing him down the stairs. And the guy behind the desk for suggesting that.
Sure. Oh, look at that. Looks like she is coming.
But we don't need cooties on this journey.
I haven't had my vaccine.
I remember when Recess did a thing on cooties, and one of the characters even said, "Yeah, cooties aren't real yet." Besides, the sisters, that would be weird.
I mean, if we're from Alabama, unfortunately, maybe not.
Oh, God.
But no, a lot of these generally, I guess they try to pass one from, actually from New York. Sir, that looks like the protective thing from the heat that you apply in the car.
Heh.
I don't think I checked to play Sousa. Let me see. Enver Gjokaj. Oh, he's of Albanian descent.
He noticed some bruises on her back.
I fell out of bed.
Clearly.
That's some bed.
I didn't
Yeah,
say it was
apparently
a good bed.
Does your
this
bed
guy
punch
was
you?
this guy was an extra in the first Avengers movie, but a complete different character.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's been also mostly on TV. Unfortunately, TV budget, so we cannot actually showcase them actually parachuting, so just the aftermath.
Alas.
And also what is clearly a day-to-night shot.
But it's ABC. They're run by Disney.
Okay,
I'm
unfortunately.
not expecting tens of millions of dollars an episode for a TV show. But I don't know, maybe at least one.
Oh.
Down Dugan, played again by Neil McDonough. Probably a better role. Remind me again, Waves, what year was Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li?
2009.
Oh, so it was way... Okay, I'm off the mark. I thought it was released around this time, so, 6 years before this. Still, a better role than then. Who thought it was a good idea to get him to play M. Bison? Jesus Christ.
It was The Legend of Chun-Li. I don't think anyone was thinking during... Okay, to be
Honestly,
fair,
the only
Michael
good
Clark
casting...
Duncan worked
Yeah,
as...
Michael Clark Duncan is Balrog. I mean, perfect.
Like, Michael Clark Duncan just refused to fail in a role, no matter how bad the movie he was in. Like, he was great as Kilowog, he was amazing as Kingpin, like... Dude can just really drive through any role. Yeah, he was the only casting decision that worked. Didn't help that Legend of Chun-Li just looks generic. Like, say what you will about the original Street Fighter movie, but I look at that movie, I actually see an attempt to look like Street Fighter. Legend of Chun-Li is like every HBO or CW series that refuses to put the characters in an actual costume.
Here's the thing, Drova. An analysis of a movie that I watched apparently, seems to come to the conclusion that the way it was made was specifically to try to ride on the popularity of the Bayformers movies, which is...
What?
A sentence.
Like, okay,
I'll give you a link later.
Whether you like or hate the Bayformers movies, the Bayformers movies, had the Transformers in them. I mean, unless we're talking about by the time of Bayformers 5, and, well, yeah, you're taking inspiration from the movie that ended the Bayformers trend for the time being, because
again, Legend of Chun-Li was 2009, so early Bayformers.
Okay, but even still, though, like, okay, for as bad as Revenge of the Fallen may have been, it had the Transformers, and, yeah, while some looked weird, you still had...
come on, Peggy.
She's had a rough week.
Again, I don't think we mentioned that much when we did First Avenger, but in case anyone knows, Dum Dum Dugan was actually created as the right-hand man of the original Nick Fury, the white Nick Fury. But because of a sliding time scale, it was very difficult to actually keep him around and have him to believe that he survived World War II. So eventually the character kind of phased down, and then Original Sin happened. I already talked about that, and one of his secret was that Nick Fury had actually, cloned the original Dum Dum Dugan to keep as an obedient, person to have around, and it's just so bad. Again,
that's so weird.
Original Sin is just a very bad story meant for just shock value.
Basically, Shiroi, here's the dealio with a lot of comics. A lot of times, writers want to essentially have the idea that all the comic history has happened. As you can imagine, that comes with the obvious problem that some of these comics have been going on for near along a century, essentially. Hence the sliding time scale that kind of has to replay some things. But with Captain America, they wanted to keep him from World War II, so whereas Captain America originally started in World War II, but, lived on, eventually they added in the origin point of him getting frozen, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, Susan in the meantime seems to have found the connection.
Which, yeah, that's not going to be good for Peggy.
Can anything go right for Peggy these days? Jesus.
No.
Well, at least they all get to have a lovely time by the campfire.
Peggy, it's funny you joke about mermaids. Namor's people aren't quite mermaids, but close enough.
We're not singing the campfire song, Weebs. I'm sorry.
Alas.
And what about the campfire song?
No.
And as for Namor or Namor, however you pronounce it, unfortunately he's still trapped in the Universal verse at this point in time, wasn't he?
Even though they never really got around to using
him. It was a very, very bizarre movie right issue. And as a reminder, just to set in, for those who don't know much about comic history, about the importance. Namor is quite literally one of the very first characters created for Marvel Comics, alongside the original Human Torch. So, kind of a big deal.
And like the guy has been
Hasn't-
he's been a villain for multiple teams. He is a part of the Illuminati, which is, well, tends to be a big deal in the Marvel universe, basically.
Well, these days we're not doing that anymore, thank God.
Probably for the best, yeah. Not just for the, real world name implications, but just the fact that the Illuminati made more bad decisions than good, let's be honest.
Yeah, and apparently Marvel only regained the rights to Namor like last year, I think, or 2 years ago.
So when it came to Wakanda Forever, they just had a deal with Universal, similar to the other
And
Hulk stuff.
hence why Namor was in the Black Panther sequel.
Oh, let me guess. It was kind of like the Hulk case where, Namor couldn't have his own movie. He had to be a part of someone else's, basically.
Think so.
I have always found that clause so weird. I mean, it's an easy enough one to work around, but it's apparently because of that a lot of Hulk's own villains couldn't even really get into a, Hulk movie of their own.
So
it is apparently like a Hulk situation where they can use Namor, but not have him in his own movie.
So yeah, it was mentioned in a previous episode, but there's this infamous battle that apparently did not actually take place, despite the fact that there were a lot of dead bodies and nobody knows what happened.
Supposedly, it was even covered up with the news. You really can't be a Stark without being at the center of one or two government financial conspiracies. Oh?
So yeah, Stark has morals.
Boy, I can't believe Howard Stark got arrested but managed to get off of that and become well beloved again in time for Tony's time.
Clearly.
I mean,
Also, it was
obvious prequel magic in that regard.
Speaking of which, I was kind of wondering, considering they bothered to showcase a clip of the Russian girls learning English using Snow White as a thing. That means that this universe does have a Walt Disney in it.
Yes.
So, and as a reminder, because of the wartime movies done during, war, like Saludos Amigos and the Three Caballeros, Walt Disney was actually officially enlisted as like I forgot if it was FBI or CIA agent, and that played a huge part during the McCarthy trials, unfortunately. So I have to guess that in this universe, Uncle Walt is actually still registered for one of these secret agencies.
Walt Disney is totally an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Clearly.
I wonder if Walt kept his army stuff in the vault.
So, an American classroom to pretend being American.
In the middle of the Soviet Union.
Oh my god, the Dover
Boys!
Hello!
To be fair, it was already public domain by this point. Remember, Warner Bros. Was furious when it was released, and Chuck Jones almost got fired for it.
Yes.
Which is maddening, considering how a masterclass of comedy it is.
It was apparently the, at the time, equivalent of a shitpost, basically, with apparently Chuck making it to air his frustrations with the company, but yeah, ironically, it's gone on to become one of the most beloved Looney Tunes shorts of all time. Even has a reanimated collab.
Warner Bros. Has referenced it one or two times. Apparently, I need to see it again, but apparently one of the group shots of the crowd in Space Jam has the Dover Boys in it.
And they also showed up in Wacko's
Oh,
Wish.
oh.
They apparently showed up a few times in Animaniacs. Like, they definitely had fans.
But unfortunately, it's not fun and games for these children because, as noted, the projector included subliminal messages.
Surprised there's still a child left here.
She's gonna hurt you, though.
Poop. Yeah, we don't have Wikipedia. Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect
You
time
really
for
fell
a
for
commercial break. She literally vented.
Thankfully, again, thanks to the titanium suit, Dom is not really worse for wear. I'm afraid, Dom, we're gonna have to kill this child. Damn.
Peggy, I mean, not for nothing, but she did try to kill him.
And that guy might... Oh yeah, he's dead.
Might,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, make it certain. Meanwhile, back in New York,
Mm-hmm.
blimey, this total weather just reminds me of a home country. He's a federal agent. They don't do that. Okay, in some sequences, the office CEO reminds me of me with the facial expression of Sam Lake. Not sure why.
One heck of a gamble.
Sure.
We Brits are waterproof.
He sadly seems to be like the least
Well,
sexist agent alive aside from Sousa left, so who knows,
Yeah,
maybe
stay-
he is on the up and up.
Yeah, stay dry. We're used to it.
Oh, hello.
I mean, we didn't come here to free prisoners, but okay.
Bonus. Oh, funnily though, while Peggy infiltrates their lair, one of their agents infiltrates hers.
Well, remember, she had pickpocketed the keys.
I love the ominous choir music.
That's Russian for you, Liz.
Get it? Because the Soviets, well, at least the leaders of them back then were evil.
Have you actually played Command Conquer Red Alert 3, Leaves?
I've seen some of the cutscenes, yeah.
That's the one with Tim Curry as the Soviet general, and it's amazing.
Yeah, with the hokey dialogue and all that.
Yes, I think that's part of the charm. You also
Well,
have
they
J.K.
killed
Simmons as the
Einstein.
U.S. president. Well, shit.
And also, Jonathan Price is in that game too.
Mm-hmm.
But you've opened the box, so you'll die in 10 seconds.
I can imagine.
Unfortunately, Peggy did not protect her stuff like that.
Sure would be a shame if she notices the hidden blood behind that painting, too.
And she's like, "The fuck is this guy?"
It's kind of like that. I forgot if it was in an episode of Justice League or one of the animated movies where Lex Luthor steals the identity of, not steals the identity, body surfs into Barry Allen as the Flash. Then he removes his mask, trying to see who this guy is, and he says to the mirror, "I don't know who this guy is."
Yeah.
Wait, is she going to? She's going to imitate Peggy?
Okay, so
For
first,
some reason.
So first off, yeah, you're right though. That's Justice League Unlimited, and secondly, Wally West is the Flash in that series.
My bad.
Basically, it was made during the 2000s because
So yeah, it was operating on post-crisis Infinity there. So.
Barry Allen was dead at the time. Like, holy cow! I'll admit, like, okay, the 2000s were quite the time for the likes of Wally West and Jon Stewart for Flash and Green Lantern, respectively. Basically. And it's like no one was ever
a piece
there.
of string.
Okay, but why did you sniff the lipstick?
That's a good question. Well, that was the one Shiri that had the sleeping powder on it. That was the one that Peggy used to dizzy out the guy in the club. Also, Dweebs, to answer your question, that's a common trick for if people don't notice when breaking and entering. That piece of string falling signals to the occupant that the lock was picked as a result.
So she's basically resetting it so that Peggy
Yes.
will be none the wiser.
Usually it's done either with that or a piece of scotch tape.
Oh yeah, I did see that actually in I think it was Doctor No or from Us Who Would Love.
Mm-hmm. Alan Moore, what are you doing here?
Well, that's more or less confirmation that Stark should be innocent.
Hmm.
We have
Okay,
we have a few
Mark?
episodes left.
Now I feel like I'm watching an episode of NCIS.
I forgot. Actually, considering the wartime, there was a Spielberg promoted, not directed, but I think produced episode about the Easy Company, I think, during World War II, but I don't remember what it was called. I did enjoy the few episodes that I watched of that.
I don't have subtitles for this bit.
Basically,
He
he's
basically
saying
is
he's got the
offering
American.
Yeah, he's offering that in exchange for him letting me go. Free Americans, she let me and my friend go.
What the fuck is a voice?
Oh, listen enough. Well, that was enough, I guess. Honestly, it probably was the best solution.
I think
Oh,
that might have been his friend who shot him too.
Yes, he even apologized to him afterward. What was that slow-mo?
You see, now Mr. Sexist gets to see Peggy truly in action.
we need to pad out the episode for its TV length somehow.
Did you break a wall with a shotgun?
Pretty sure
I
it
know
was
that,
with an explosive,
some
but still.
I know Soviet construction is a bit flimsy, but this is ridiculous.
How long was he hitting it for?
I forgot. I know Neil McDonough was in the first Sonic movie, but did he play in that one?
Don't remember.
Was he one of the generals we see at near the start
I
of the
think
movie?
so.
Along with Gary Chalk, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Ah, found it. There you go. The series I was thinking of is called Band of Brothers. It was an HBO series made in 2001, 10 episodes. I should probably rewatch it at one point.
Think about it.
Don't think about it, please.
I mean, he's undoubtedly a wanker, but you know.
No, sorry, you
No.
don't check it. You don't check it. Okay, for context here, because it's been a while. I mentioned it when we did the Captain America video game, but it's been a while. There is an actual, Marvel character called Union Jack, as his code name, but that's basically a tongue-in-cheek reference to that.
Whiskey?
Sorry, Doc. Yeah, imagine, starving for alcohol and the only thing they give you is American whiskey. Ha.
I mean, it's better than rotting in prison for life or getting the noose, so, you know.
Bye-bye, bourbon.
Sorry, bourbon. My mistake.
I mean, they're not the same thing.
Oh.
Oh, so you have also war crimes on your belt. Also, see, you notice the lighting the moment you mentioned that a shadow fell on his face. God, the show really wants to emphasize a lot with lighting tricks.
See, she's in the light, but he is in the dark. But slowly coming into the light. As the light of truth comes, so it shines on his face. Like, maybe that's just a coincidence to show all the planes moving, but still, you wonder.
Well, that explains why you have such a stick up your ass.
Yep.
I'm a war
Again,
criminal.
it's Chad Michael Murray. I should expect that.
Well, okay. To be fair, he didn't notice it, but I mean, not noticing a white flag isn't quite a sufficient defense, I don't think.
No, at least it's not ground. It's ground for you to not get a medal.
I think the thing was, due to past services, he was already set to get the medal. The problem was, I think, instincts kicked in and he assumed that it might be a trick or didn't notice the white flag in time, but yeah, he made the wrong move, basically. I'm guessing it might have been covered up by his mates, basically.
Well, yeah, it's a good... Luckily for you, you didn't end up in the Hague or wherever an international criminal court was
Also,
at the time.
My God, this poor girl has been conditioned to go to sleep handcuffed, despite being a grown-ass adult. Poor soul.
Well, I mean,
Does that not hurt like hell in the morning? Jesus.
Well, I mean,
I had to guess she got used to that.
I mean, she's a murderer, though.
Okay, Dweebs. It's more of a case where the episodes bother to establish the fact that, getting to this point, she did not chose to be evil, maniacally cackling like a, cartoon character, but was unfortunately a victim of institutionalized, conscription. Yes, at the end of the day, her actions are still, more clear, but you can see that the fact that there's a tragedy to her.
Like, the fact that she just did the whole handcuff thing just proves that she's all there.
It's kind of similar with the child. It's kind of similar with the child before, It's a representation of the damage that a country does to its civilians. Can't imagine why that would be topical right now. Fuck my life.
Well, it seems like we're at least finally about to make a break in the case, even though there are 3 episodes left in this season. Oh, yeah, that's right. Peggy, you might be busted.
Sousa. At this point, we really should have the hook being the promise tomorrow.
Oh, snap. Tonight, you're one of the boys. I'm just grappling with my conscience on whether or not I should potentially turn in a fellow agent.
Report.
He's not gonna do it.
That is the titillating question. Easy or is he not?
I feel like he'll find some secret third option.
That's the thing, though. If it turns out that the agency has no more reason to suspect Stark, then I wonder who might take the blame who happens to show up at all the crime scenes.
Gee, I wonder.
Oh, that's what we'll have to, find out. But no, again, episode was fine. It was also nice to see Neil McDonald as Dun Dugan. Again, you can kind of tell that this first season really wants to be still connected to the movies in a more tight capacity, just without having to rely on previous actors all the time. But it is nice and also a chance to give the secondary type of characters a time to shine, which is usually what these series normally tend to do, which is the equivalent of what the tie-in comics issues to a big event tend to be, or specific events like 52 for the original DC run.
Like, with the amount of movies and projects that are out for it, I think nowadays it's safe to call the MCU literally the movie equivalent of a comic book line. Like, there's enough movies to the point where, yes, research needs to be done. You've got series for tie-in, some of which you do need to read/watch to get what's going on and whatnot. And, of course, you got the big crossover events, a.k.a. the Avengers movies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
All right, then. I
So,
guess
yeah,
that
that was a
leaves it
good,
to...
solid episode. But, yes, the next episode is, of course, episode 6, A Sin to Air.
See ya for that.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.